Hi! Welcome to day 18, and today we're going to be talking about stories versus poems. Yesterday, if you two remember, we found treasures in our drafts or in our trash, okay? And as I was reading through some poems of my girls and some of my kids from the past when I was a teacher in a classroom, I noticed that sometimes our poems sounded more story-ish, like a story than a real poem, right, Eliana? Yeah? Okay. So some poems sound like real poems. I'm going to read you this poem. Dogs. Dog sleeping in a dog house, moving back and forth. The dog wakes up, scatters to the kitchen. I feed it. It thanks me. A big lick on my face. And then there's poems that are funny, kind of like this one. I am sick, I have a cold. I need tissues, I have a runny nose. Achoo, achoo, I need more tissues now. And then some are kind of like, they sound more story, like a story. Let me show you. When I learned how to ride my bike, it was hard. I tried for a long time. I tried and tried a lot. I'm going by myself. I can ride with other people now. I'm doing it. I can go with my friends and bike along. I'm going faster than my dad. I'm going faster than my sister. I can ride by myself. I can do it. Yay. Okay. Today, what I want to suggest is that different kinds of poems and different kinds of revision or changes. Okay. Many of you, but not all of you, have some poems that kind of sound like stories.
Mama, can you read this one?
Okay, so I want us to look at this poem here. And by the end of the day today, you're going to be able to say, I can take my not yet poems that read like stories and then turn them into poems. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So this poem, now I'm going to have you go sit over there. Okay. Here you go, with your baby. Awesome. Okay, so this poem sounds kind of like a story. Okay, girls? And then we're going to do something to help it sound like a poem. There's the story version. I went to a circus with my family. We took the subway. We waited in line. I got a bag of popcorn. Everyone was clapping. We saw guys flipping in the air. We saw horses galloping over poles. My dad told me we had to leave early. I was tired and happy. Do you see how that's kind of like a story?
Why did they have to leave early though?
Maybe to get home for school, right? For the next day.
Or maybe they were going to go get something out to eat and have some fun.
Maybe they want to beat the traffic. Here is the student's poem version. And when I read it, I want you to notice 2 or 3 things different from this story poem to the regular poem. What did this poet do? Okay. So here we go. So notice what he did or she did to change it into a poem. Munching popcorn from a bag. Crowd applauding very loud. Guys flipping into the air like butterflies. Horses clip clop. Jump over poles. Why don't you scoot back? Gallop over obstacles. I love the circus.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh.
So
yeah.
now we want to think about what's different between this poem that was like a story versus this poem. He made some changes.
Mom, have you read that again?
What do you notice, Eliana?
Crowd applauding is different, very loud.
Okay, hold on,
Munching
stop.
popcorn from a
Hold on,
bag.
stop. So crowd applauding is different than everyone was clapping?
Yeah. Can I start it?
Okay, sure.
I want to start this time.
Gina, do you notice anything different between this story-like poem? Don't sit in front of it. You can move over a little bit. guy slipping into the air?
That's different because guys flipping in the air.
So they said we saw a guy slipping in the air. So what did they do to get to guy slipping into the air?
Into the air.
What did they do to get to this?
They didn't say into.
Okay.
I want to do the star.
Okay, you can start. So did they take some words out, Drina? Look.
Right here.
We saw guy slipping in the air to guy slipping into the air. Did they take some words out?
Yeah.
Okay. So they took some words out. How about we saw guys slipping in the air? We saw, is that important to the poem?
No.
Or just the guys flipping?
In the air. Guys flipping
That's
in
important.
the air. In
So
the
they
flip, in the where.
So they took out words that weren't really part of the main poem, right? Okay. What about this? What do you notice here? Yes, Eliana.
Instead of munching popcorn from a bag,
Uh-huh.
I went to the circus with my family. We took the subway.
Where is that in this poem?
Nowhere.
Did they take this whole section out?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Is this part about taking the subway?
Well, not this.
Part of like the main idea of the poem?
He took it out. No, it's not nice.
They totally took that part out. Totally done. What about this part here? Look. My dad told me we had to leave early. I was tired and happy. What happened to this part?
It was taken out.
It was totally taken out. Is this part anything really about the important part about the circus?
No.
Nope, they totally took this part out. What about this?
And they put these.
Okay, so look at munching popcorn from a bag. Let's go back here where we're talking about popcorn. He said, I got a bag of popcorn.
That's not.
And then he changed it to munching popcorn.
Munching popcorn.
How did he go from here to that? What did he do as a poet?
He used his poet's eyes and said munching instead of I got a bag of popcorn. That just
munching?
Plain.
Yeah. Is that like showing? Can you see him munching? So when we change our story version of our poem to a poem, do we use showing, not telling words like munching? Yeah. Put a little sign on that side for munching.
Munching.
Popcorn from a bag. How about this part? Okay, guys slipping into the air like butterflies.
Like butterflies.
What's that? Like butterflies?
They added something because they took a bunch of things out. Like this.
What is that called? He's comparing the guys flipping in the air like butterflies. What is that called?
Because they go like this, and then there's something on the belly, and then they flip.
Yeah, and he says they're like butterflies. What did we learn that's called when we compare something to something else in the world? It's called a comparison. So did they use a comparison here? Yeah, they said the guys were like butterflies. Ooh, flipping through the air, right? Isn't that cool? Then I want you to look at the end here.
Horses clip clop.
I love that sound. Is that another show and tell?
Yeah.
Show instead of tell.
Can
Now look at the end here. Sure, you can start that. You did a show and tell. Andrina, look. Look at the end, Andrina.
I love
Galloping over obstacles. I love the circus.
That's way different.
It is.
Galloping.
He said, instead of this end, my dad told me we had to leave early. I was tired and happy. He ends it with, I love the circus. Is that about the circus? Does that make sense as an ending line? Sure. Okay.
We saw horses galloping over poles. Instead of that, they put jump over poles, gallop over obstacles.
Did they take some more words out that weren't important? Like we didn't need to have we saw, just horses, clip clop. He didn't even say over poles. Oh right, he did here, jump over poles. So he does take some of those not so important things out. Nope, you can be done.
Okay.
So this is the last bit of our lesson now. And then we're gonna go do the same thing.
You didn't say what day was.
Day 18. Okay, so these are some of the things that we noticed our poets can do, you guys can do, when you have a story kind of poem and you want to change it to a regular poem, here's some things you can do. You can take out extra words, like instead of we saw, or
like
we waited in line, you could just say.
Butterflies,
okay.
galloping.
You can take out parts of the story that aren't the main thing.
Of the story.
Like this. He didn't even put this in there. They weren't part of the main poem. The next thing is you can decide if your sentences have periods or not. We didn't talk about that today, but sometimes in poems, you don't have to always have a period. This poet decided not to put a period at all. Or maybe they decided to put one here. Okay, so you kind of have to decide that. Because remember, periods make you stop when you read. You're going to want to add words to show and not tell, like munching on the popcorn. And then poets use your comparisons. The guys are flipping like butterflies. And that's what you do to get a poem that's more like a story into a regular poem.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to try to do today. Tomorrow, you're going to be picking 2 or 3 poems that you want to revise and edit. I'm going to show you how to do that. And the next day, is our author celebration, and we are done with our poetry unit. So this is our real last day of like doing some work. So good luck turning story-like poems into actual poems by using this to help you. Good luck, and we will see you tomorrow when we start revising and editing.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.